There is often some confusion around how thief skills work in basic D&D, which puts the utility of thieves into question. The arguments tend to fall into these three categories. Why are thieves so bad at their skills? What happens if a non-thief attempts a thief skill? And why do thieves have move silently and hide in shadows? Which of these should be used when sneaking? Part of the confusion may arise from how stealth skills are implemented in more modern versions of the game, such as 3rd edition onwards, where any character can theoretically take any skill, with minor exceptions, and the skill descriptions tend to be quite broad. So let's take a look at each skill and see how a thief of 3rd level would fare in each example. The most simple example first is climbing. All characters can climb, and the DM can determine whether something is climbable or not. A rope is usually required, but not in every instance. Climbing whilst encumbered or climbing during a combat encounter may provoke an ability check, probably strength. However, only thieves can climb sheer surfaces, such as cliffs and castle walls, and their ability to do so is actually rather good, starting at 87% at 1st level. The check is made for each 100 feet climbed, and failure results in the thief falling from the halfway point of the wall, taking 1d6 points of damage for every 10 feet fallen. Incidentally, in the 1983 Mensa Basic Rules and the 1991 Rules Cyclopedia, the skill is simply called Climb Walls. This contributes to the confusion about the skill. So in our example, our 3rd level thief has an 89% chance of successfully climbing up a castle wall without the aid of a rope. Next are the two very specific thief skills, Open Lock and Pickpocket. A thief requires a lockpick or thieves' tools to open a lock. The thief only gets one attempt, and if he fails, the lock is beyond his expertise and cannot be opened. He may attempt to open the lock again once he has leveled up. Non-thieves do not have the training for picking locks, so it should be impossible. However, the DM could rule that it is successful on, say, the roll of a 00 on a D100, signifying some extreme luck. Picking pockets requires training and practice, and even then it is not easy. If the thief fails the check, he is unable to get his hands on the loot he is trying to pocket. If, however, he rolls double his skill score, so for a level 3 thief this would be 60 or more, he's caught in the act. Again, a non-thief attempting this should always fail, with an extraordinary high chance of being caught. The target of the pickpocket also modifies the thief's ability by 5% per hit dice, though the thief will always have a 1% chance to succeed. This skill, I find, is rather on the low side and seems to offer more risk than reward, but a thief should do things to mitigate the chance of failure, such as stealing from those who are not paying attention or causing a distraction. Our 3rd level thief, in the example of these two skills, finds a locked door and spends some time trying to unlock it. He has a 25% chance of being successful. It should take one turn for this action to be performed. Later that day, he tries to swipe a coin purse from a noble. Normally, the thief has a 30% chance of success against a normal human, i.e. a level 0 creature. This noble is level 3 though, so the thief only gets a 15% chance of success. The thief rolls a 32, which is more than double his chance of 15%, and so therefore he is caught in the act. Hear noise functions in the same way as for all characters, except for the fact that the thief slowly improves as he gains levels. Listening at a door or listening for monsters' footfalls down a corridor is successful on a 1 out of 6 for humans, 2 out of 6 for demi-humans, and at an increasing rate for a thief. A listen check can only be made once and is rolled by the DM. Succeeding on a listen check and hearing monsters means the party cannot be surprised. It's worth noting that all party members should be quiet during the process of listening, otherwise nothing will be able to be heard. The third level thief listens at the door and has a 3 in 6 chance of hearing a monster on the other side. He does so and warns the party, ensuring that they cannot be surprised when they open the door. Next we have Find Trap and Remove Trap. All characters can look for traps. They must, however, describe where they are looking. Normal characters have a 1 in 6 chance of finding a trap if they look in the appropriate place, unless the trap is very small, well hidden, or invisible. A dwarf has a 2 in 6 chance of finding a trap if it is made from stone or metal. A thief, however, has an increased chance of finding a trap and rolls a percentage instead of a d6. However, at first and second level, you should simply use the 1 in 6 chance on a d6, as this is actually higher than the find trap score for the thief. If the thief finds a trap, he may make another roll to remove it. If he fails this removal roll, the trap triggers, either straight away or at a later time. However, this is at the DM's discretion, and he may decide not to trigger the trap at all. If a character, thief or no, describes a way of disarming or bypassing a trap that is logical and would work, then let him do so without any roll. Player ingenuity should always be rewarded. Only one attempt may be made at both finding and removing a trap. So, in our example, our third level thief searches the entrance of the dungeon for a trap. He has a 20% chance of finding the swinging blade. He succeeds in finding the trap and attempts to disarm it. However, he fails this check, triggering the trap and becoming injured in the process. Now the blade is swinging at a regular interval across the dungeon's entrance. The party's elf notices that the blade does not fully reach the ground, and there is enough room underneath the blade to crawl, so the party are able to bypass the trap without further incident. Now onto the most commonly misunderstood rule in basic D&D, stealth. There is a reason that the two skills are separated into hide in shadows and move silently, and these skills should be read literally. They are not fancy synonyms for simply hide and sneak. Any character may choose to move quietly or hide behind something, but only a thief can move silently and hide in shadows. Let's imagine a clearing in the forest with a lot of undergrowth and an old brick wall. A group of bandits is approaching, and the party wish to hide from them. Hiding behind the brick wall is automatically successful, as it blocks line of sight to the bandits. Therefore, no roll is required at all. However, if the bandits approach the clearing and look behind the wall, they will automatically see the PCs hiding there. Half of the party attempt to hide in the undergrowth. One of the party members is a halfling, so he has a 90% chance of remaining hidden in the undergrowth. The other members of the party do not have this ability, so it is at the discretion of the DM. But I would suggest that the monsters simply make a single surprise roll. If they are surprised, count this as if they had not seen the characters in the undergrowth. The DM may modify this chance based on the situation, such as if it's dark or if the creatures are distracted, but I would suggest just using this 2 in 6 chance each time. Also, roll for the whole group of monsters, if they are similar enough, rather than each individual creature. The chances of success would be far too great otherwise. Only separate the rolls in the case where one group is more aware, such as a group of bandits with a pack of sniffing dogs. In this case, make 2 rolls and assign the better roll to the dogs. It is dark when the bandits arrive, so the thief attempts to hide in shadows in front of the wall. If it was not dark, the thief would be clearly seen, but he holds very still in the shadows and has a 20% chance of not being detected by the approaching bandits. He succeeds on his roll, and even though they pass within 10 feet of him, they do not notice the thief. As soon as that thief moves, he will be spotted, though he should have surprise and can attempt to backstab. In our next example, the characters are attempting to sneak past a group of cultists in the dark. Any character can move quietly and do not need to roll a dice to do so. However, the cultists get a chance to hear noise. As they are human, they have a 1 in 6 chance of hearing the characters sneak past. If the cultists were demi-humans, they would have a 2 in 6 chance, and if the characters sneak past an especially sensitive creature with exceptional hearing, then the chance could increase to 3 in 6 or more. In addition, mitigating factors such as metal armor or walking on gravel could increase the chance of being heard. One of the party members is wearing plate mail, so the cultists actually have a 2 in 6 chance of hearing them. So, our thief decides to sneak past the cultists alone, leaving the rest of the party behind. He has a 30% chance of moving silently, and if he is successful, the cultists cannot hear him, so they do not get to make any hear noise check at all. The thief fails his move silently check, but he is still moving quietly, just not silently. The cultists must still make a hear noise check. They fail their 1 in 6 chance, and therefore the thief sneaks past despite failing his move silently check. Note that with these two examples, hide in shadows and move silently, they are separate. You cannot move silently while hiding in shadows. So that is a summary of the thief skills, marking them as incredibly useful as well as unique amongst the selectable classes, though I think quite misrepresented in play. Do you play these skills in a different way? If so, let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.